and that's when I bought that stapler. That was a fun time as well.
It's a good one. You know,
is that what you drunk bought a noun? Is that what? Am I remembering correctly?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was drunk, but I will say that I believe I was very rational in my decision, and I continue to believe in positivity of the Nouns ecosystem, regardless of how much alcohol is in my system.
Okay.
Yeah. It just
that sounds like a legal statement, but yeah.
Didn't he come on to not buy the Noun, then he ended up putting the higher bid in after the fact too?
Yeah. He's like, hey, someone outbid me, and then he's like, I changed my mind. That's a good stapler.
He got literal FOMO on FOMO.
Let me throw a higher bid in.
Yeah, I remember that was fantastic.
Yeah. No, it was a great day. Seeing those decisions where it feels rash, and then you're like, no, you know what? I love the Nouns. I'm going in. I'm going to bid it up. That's fantastic.
I mean, I'm still thinking about getting a third one, despite everything that's happened.
Yeah. Well, right now it's at a really reasonable price. Current bid at 42.02. Next available fit bid 42.87.
Sorry, did you say Fitbit? You get a free Fitbit with this?
You get a free Fitbit. Everybody gets a free Fitbit. So, Adrian, I want to give you the heads up before, as we get close to the 30-second countdown, we may interrupt you, but we want to, if that happens, we'll definitely get back on the mark after we play FOMO. But what do you want to talk about today?
Totally. I just want to I guess I have like a minute and a half, but I just want to keep this positive, right? I think a lot of us really enjoy the Discord, enjoy what we've gotten from the Nouns community, and I think that we want to talk about the other side of deleting the Nouns. I'm positive going into it, no matter what happens, because I think the community is bigger than the Discord, is bigger than any decision by one Nouner or another. But I think it's also important to kind of air out some of the concerns and worries that people have, right? This isn't about being combative, but it's talking about how, we can be more honest with ourselves in terms of what we might be risking. How do we mitigate that? How do we go forward and make sure our community stays as positive as it always has been?
Yeah. Looking to see if we have any bids coming in. I don't see any new bids coming in.
Oh, there was just a new bid, actually. Just came through.
Oh, POAP.e.
42.87 from POAP. So the clock has been reset 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
That's why I didn't see it. I had my head turned.
By the way, I'm getting semi-rugged by Twitter. I don't know if it's just me and I'm special, but
no,
I'm getting about
great,
every 30.
Yes.
So yeah.
Oh, no.
I'll do my best to understand you.
It's definitely you.
Well, it's definitely you, Ryan.
Well, I can hear it.
It had to be you.
I'm not the one complaining. So
it's
I can
in
hear
every one of us. Okay, so
I think it's up Toshi.
Let's talk about, because this is a big discussion, and I think that it's important to have these discussions, especially super early on at the beginning of a DAO or a protocol. Let's talk about the merits of centralization.
Yeah, for sure. So, I've been through several different communities, and I think in the beginning of any kind of fledgling community, it's really important to have strong leadership, some kind of centralization, so everyone who's new and coming in has an idea of what the vision is, right? And I think it's important that we keep a level of centralization until we get to a point of maturity where we can, I'm not talking about personal maturity, but in terms of the group and the proliferation and the momentum, that we can have a sensible decentralization. Usually it's quite gradual, right? Ethereum's DAO hard fork is a very clear example of this. Something bad happened, and then there had to be very strong leadership into saying, okay, this is what we're going to do next. But having a hard fork like what happened in the DAO would be unthinkable today, because we have become sufficiently decentralized. Now, at that time there was a catalyst event that happened, and for us maybe there was as well, but what that isn't exactly really clear. I think for a lot of us, this kind of happened, right? And I've also seen what happens when a place gets way too decentralized way too early, and for me, that was when I was at Consensus in 2017, 2018, 2019. You know, it was a time that was really chaotic, and it's documented in Laura Shin's book about how, you know, because the utopian idea of being like, you know, oh, everyone is like super flat, super non-hierarchical. It caused a lot of problems and you know, infighting, balkanization, and that's something that I'm really concerned about, and I want to make sure we keep the space positive.
Yeah, you know, sometimes I think this. Look, sometimes they say stuff and people think that I'm like way off, and they don't usually ask, "What do you mean by that?" That's fine. I was going to say, you know, sometimes I look at the natural world in a lot of things, and I look at the merits of centralization. And if Ben was here, I'd be like, "Isn't it true that like when you're 6 years old there in Australia, your parents send you out on a walkabout?" As
The good
joke.
thing is you can say it and no one can refute it. So that's
but the reality is that, you know, and just different species and stuff, and a lot of things will stay there and nurture their young for a certain amount of time before they send them out into the world. So, you know, again, different type of protocol, I guess, you know, the natural world. But, you know, I do see that there are some merits of centralization, especially in the early days of a DAO, a protocol, etc. But I also see merits of decentralization. Let's see, do we have enough time? 50 seconds. I don't think 50 seconds is enough time to talk about groupthink. However, I think
unless
it is
you're the micro machine, man, I don't think we're gonna.
That's right.
That's right. Unless Adrian wants to take a shot and bid on this now.
But I was going to say, you know, but groupthink is a good idea, because if you're in the audience and you want to play along with us at FOMOnouns.wtf, we have an opportunity to go there, thumb up, thumb down the noun, and see if we can min them. I'm still saying we go for bubblegum.
I'm a mustard maxi. I'm sorry.
Shout out to POAP. We are
I'll
stacking.
vote
We're
for
stacking.
either.
That's what we're doing.
POAP likes the pumpkin.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, everybody. Candy bar? Candy bar? No?
All right,
Nope.
let's go FOMO.
All right.
A reminder to everyone that we're playing against a bot now, so it's not really fair. And the bot seems to have found a way to stall FOMO indefinitely.
Oh, Popsicle Aardvark.
That's a nice one.
Popsicle
Aardvark
is very cool.
We're just
We can
gonna
just-
have
Attempting to settle that.
What we can just do here is we can just ask as a barometer. Adrian, would you drunk mint this every time one comes up?
I would.
I like the hoodie bear.
And also, last time he was on,
vending machine is pretty sweet. I'm biased.
last time he was on, how did we not coin the term beer noggles? Because I mean, that seems obvious in retrospect. See, this is what has been happening for the last few days.
Raffle bear.
I don't know. It just attempts to settle everything, but doesn't settle anything. So I feel like this was the bot's true intention, or the creator of the bot was to stall FOMO indefinitely.
That is an ugly noun.
That's a cash money potato right there.
That's right.
100%.
Idaho's cash crops.
I like when there's an ugly noun like that. I like when there's an ugly noun and then it says like attempting to settle, and you kind of feel like it's its partner. You know, like I'm attempting to settle for this potato for the rest of my life.
Ooh, the hanger.
Thanks, Robot Fish Girl. Appreciate it.
Something about those hangers. They're so dope.
Oh, 2 in a row.
That was a nice
double hanger. That's when you hang your retainer up to dry, right, Ben? Oh, Ben.
That's an aardvark.
No, not to Ben. To Ben, it's a retainer.
Ooh.
Please don't hang your aardvark at home. This is life advice.
You know, I don't know. I know that they've been playing, like I've read in the little FOMO channel, and like, look at that. It's way above consensus right now. Is it the bot, or is it some of the back end stuff that they're doing that's not letting stuff settle now?
I don't know. And NG said he's not sure what the bot's doing, but it seems to be making it so that consensus can't go through. Like even when consensus is there.
Pumpkin Dino? 2 pumpkins back to back?
Should we just do a pumpkin? Should we do a pumpkin every day until October 31st?
Yes.
1 pumpkin every day forever.
Oh,
Your pencil,
RGB
Sam.
pencil. Get
Nice
that
pencil.
pencil. That'll
That's a
be
I really like
colored
this one.
now acquisition.
That's a colored pencil, yeah.
Yeah.
Or as we call them in Canada, inexplicably, pencil crayons. Don't ask me.
Yeah.
I got 88 upvotes on that one. That was crazy.
Yeah. No one wants me to have a pencil. Is this a beautiful NFT? Keeping the pencil for themselves?
I think so.
I thought you were supposed to trade for a pencil, Sam.
I tried, but Itzler traded it to beautiful NFT for the Silver Fox.
Really?
And then I cried inside. They're like,
Ouch.
sorry. They're like, I want it because it's a Nounders one. I'm like, I want it because it's a pencil.
That
You
was.
know what I would do with it? I would slap that and sell actual colored pencils.
I think you should.
I mean, I
Do it anyway, yeah.
You just missed
Yeah.
the dirty money.
I don't know if you've heard. I don't know if you've heard, Sam, about CC0. You should watch the new video from Aptoshi and
thanks.
Woody.
I know how it works, but I still want that
Excellent segue, Tony.
Thank you.
I'll pin it to the top.
You sound so excited, Aptoshi. Pin Toshi. She will
Yellow
pin it to the top.
chips. Might as well eat them. You only live once.
That's right. I feel like all Doritos are kind of YOLO chips, really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
That's a fun
Ooh,
calendar.
I really like this calendar.
Yeah.
I want us to get an index card.
Oh,
I know.
Yeah. We gotta do that.
Madrowski is
Madrowski
trying
here.
to buy a Noun, so
Oh,
he
that's
would
a
like
good,
to buy.
That's a really dope star.
But Madrowski drew the index card, so why doesn't he just mint his own Noun and then he can just buy that? It'd be cheaper.
He got the first one on YOLO.
Did he?
Yeah. Tempting to settle 7 to 17, 7 to 21.
That's a pie puck.
Wallet Nouns. What's in your wallet?
That's actually a Canadian tradition. We play hockey with a pie for Thanksgiving.
That sounds delicious.
The pie puck.
Nice pump.
There's no other Canadians here.
Cheesy pump.
I'm Canadian.
Cheesy pump.
God damn it. Just go with it. Just go with
Today
it.
we're
Oh, I was about to be like, really? Who wins?
That's a really nice cloud.
Really pure cloud.
Haven't we already seen this?
I feel like
Oyster?
the bot just
The
left.
Yellow oyster.
I don't know. It's still here.
Oh no, that was the Raffle oyster.
You only live oyster.
You only live oyster. The ghost of Trogdor. Hey, that's good for Halloween.
That
You
is pretty
obviously
good.
like oysters.
That is a good Halloween one. Should we do a Halloween noun every day?
Yeah. Bat.
One
Skeleton.
spooky noun every day forever.
Anything
Garlic.
except for the garlic. Do not
Yeah, it's spooky.
settle the garlic.
But the
Something's
garlic
going
is
on.
the garlic is against the vampire though, so that's technically Halloween.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you get technically so the
And you get Doritos when you go trick or treating sometimes from the good houses.
Mm.
You guys still do trick or treating, right?
I do.
mean they cut us
The
off.
cutoff
at
is
age of
45
12.
years old, right?
Yeah, open up your bag and you'll put a Cool Ranch Dorito in there. Just one though, not a
Just
bag.
one.
Yin yang dog. No thank you.
Individually wrapped Cool Ranch Doritos.
I feel like Aptoshi is the house that would have the full size chocolate bars.
As a
Real
kid, I
hard.
remember like someone was just handing out like just full cans of soda, and I was like, "That's kind of the smartest thing ever."
Yeah, I
Doesn't have
remember
to be
those.
searched.
And then the next house would have like a Tootsie Roll, and it's like, really? Get out of here with that.
Yeah, or just like Laffy Taffy.
Remember the weird houses that
Terrible.
would give you raisins and it was so offensive?
Ew,
thought you
yes,
were gonna-
why?
I thought you were gonna say razor blades. I'm like, yeah, I remember.
No.
What's with the raisins?
I remember people being scared of that happening.
No, I think
It's like one of the
bot is
biggest
gone.
urban legends.
The bot is gone. 7 and 7. Now there's 0 active play. What is happening?
See, it's a person, and they get bored.
They get bored because we're all
They get bored
talking about
easily.
Halloween. They're like, you're all talking about Halloween and not about the bot and how great the bot is.
Yeah.
How dare you?
The dope moose. Oh no, it's back.
The bot is back. The very next. noun.
Maybe it's powered by us saying bot over.
Bot,
Yeah, it's voice controlled.
go away, bot.
Does anyone have
Ooh.
the contract up or no?
Does anyone have the fence money? I stole something here and I need
The fence is wet money. He was laundering that money and took it out too quickly.
That just means that fiat is offensive. That's what this now means.
Oh.
Too far? Why is this block? Why is this block longer than it is allowed to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened to consistent blocks?
We just got a 24-second block. This bot is really going too far.
It's messing with the Ethereum chain.
It got bored of FOMO and went straight.
That's a cool boot. I like that boot.
That's a nice boot.
Hey, let's see if the assassin's listening. Vote up. Nope.
This sounds cool.
By the time you said it, I'm pretty sure the voting was already finished.
Yeah.
Illuminati Star
is pretty cool, man.
I like that one. It attempted to settle it, but did not. So if you haven't heard, we are playing FOMO until Halloween today.
Evidently. The slimy crab.
Tuning in. The Discord may be closing, but FOMO is open forever.
Forever. Can't close it if it can't settle.
That's right.
Pineapple mask is pretty sweet.
I like the pineapple mask, yeah. I
By
like
the way,
colors.
while we're battling this bot, if you guys want to come up and you have questions or comments, things to share about the Discord after.
Holy couch!
Toady Hawk is attempting to settle. This would be a good one, man.
Please get the holy couch. Oh.
That's a good one. That's not a bad one.
I actually really like this one too.
I might miss and get the what's going on here?
The lightning bolt? I don't know, man.
Maybe the bot's not letting me settle either now.
Oh,
hey!
What the crap?
Whoa.
All right, well,
there we go.
Not the couch I wanted, but I was distracted at the start and didn't get the settlement.
Man, that grease pencil was sweet, and I love drawing with grease pencils.
This is another episode of Toady Settles the FOMO. Back to back. How many days have we settled our own FOMO?
That's 3 days I've settled in a row.
Oh man.
Damn.
My
I
mom
am a benevolent FOMO dictator. Mercy settling us every day.
Yeah. We need to get Toady a payout from the FOMO wallet at this point.
Didn't NG say you were going to have it fixed yesterday or no?
I didn't hear any timelines, but
yeah.
I thought he said he would have it fixed yesterday.
Well, it's not like it's a dog.
Well, what are you going to neuter it, Sam?
That's what I mean.
Bring FOMO to the vet.
So
I think that's exactly how it got fixed.
Oh no, go ahead. Go RFG. I don't want to step
on no, I was shit posting audibly. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Shit posting audibly, our new motto for the Nouns Square.
I don't want to okay. I lost my track because the dog did something in here. I think he heard me say something about fixing the dog. My bad. So we were talking about the merits of centralization. And right before we started FOMO, we started to bring up the topic of groupthink. Can you go into that a little further for us?
Sure thing. Yeah, I think so. A lot of times, when we have strong leadership, like we do, the leadership might decide something, and then we just go along with it. Now, with good leaders, and we do have good leaders. Most of the time, that's not really an issue. That's a feature, not a bug. But I think it's still important, as we grow in size, to have this culture of thinking about, do we want to do it? What are the reasons for and against it? We don't want to get into too much bureaucracy, but I started to see some cracks in just kind of following a particular movement, because a lot of people I've talked to DMs and they were really concerned, but they didn't want to speak out in public. And I think that's not something that is very nannish, right? We want to make sure that everyone feels comfortable saying things one way or another and not be scared they're going to offend someone, right? I think everyone can agree with that. A lot of times it's really dangerous when there's too much positivity and people are scared to say what they really feel, and then people will end up leaving. And I think that cultish mentality is very important in the beginning, but we need to kind of keep it in check and just make sure that we want to do things that are good for the community. And if our leaders might be missing something, we want to be able to help them out by pointing it out.
Yeah, I think that's important. As far as like the upping and moving though, to a Discord, what stops anyone from going, or what would be the downside of like going to Honk's DAO, which is, his Discord server is set up primarily like the other one, or what about going to the Noun Squares or to Nounish Labs? I mean, right now I've got about 50 different, I call them power channels in my Discord server over there. Like, what's the difference between having those servers and having just channels? They're still kind of siloed.
Yeah, that's true. I take your point completely. I think the biggest issue is for newcomers, right? When they buy a Noun or consider buying a Noun, they want to hop into a Discord and see what it's all about. Usually that would be the general channel of the so-called official Nouns Discord. But when you have like all these disparate things, we have that that list of Discords that that have been made. But like, where do they know where to go, right? Like if I want to consider buying a Noun, or if I want to reach out to all Noun holders, where do I go for that? And like, will all those people be there in a reliable fashion? I think having that centralization onto the official Discord provides a lot of value, and I think the evidence of that is the vibrant community that we currently have. It's great to have channels become their own Discords, right? I'm definitely for that, but I think that should happen when those channels grow to a certain extent that where that makes sense. Otherwise, there's this barrier to jumping into Discords, that I think will hurt our ability to proliferate the Nouns more. Right now, I've got like, I don't know, like 7 or 8 different Noun channels on my Discord, and like, I don't know, like, Discord
Those
itself
are
is,
rookie numbers. You got to get those up.
you gotta get them up. Yeah.
You got to bring up your batting average.
Yeah, but I just think, like, there's still value in having something versus not having something, and I think that needs to be talked about. The biggest issue, really, and I'm not against deleting a Discord, if we have this discussion. I think not having a discussion and deleting it is there's the real issue here. A lot of us came back from DevCon not that long ago, and these are people, DevCon, the largest Ethereum conference every year. We literally came back from Colombia, and then the Nano Discord was shut down.
The Discord first?
Yeah, right. I mean, I think a lot of people just were caught off guard by this, and I think that sets a really dangerous precedent. Maybe you could say that's why we're deleting it, because in the future, we would have an alternative where it's not deletable, or it's like decentralized in a way. But I'm not sure that's exactly clear that we have to delete it while everyone is away on a conference.
Yeah. So really quick, this is going to seem off. I say stuff all the time. People think that it's off. If they ask questions, they might find out a little more. Back in 1812, that's right, we're going back to 1812.
Okay.
When I was but a young lad, there was a book of stories that was published called Grimm's Fairy Tales. In the 53rd story, most of us know, is a story called Snow White. Now, what is the official Snow White? Is it that original Brothers Grimm? Is it the Disney version? Is it the Huntsman version that they put out, a few years back, the live action? Is it, all these different interpretations? There's been hundreds and hundreds of Snow White stories and remixes of Snow White. But which one?
I didn't know Snow White was about the War of 1812. That's interesting.
Is it about the White House that got burned down by the Canadians?
It was.
Oh, shots fired. Woody, where's those shots?
That's right. The April 6th attack. But as we go towards this decentralized, CCO, experiment, really, does that timing and lack of notice, like I'm sure that or maybe you haven't seen, there's been a lot of comments that have been shown from like a year ago, talking about, this is, the Nounders Discord, and, we're thinking about deleting it from like literally a year ago.
Yeah.
But again,
I think that's
buried.
Fine. I mean, like the action itself was quite sudden. With the Snow White thing, it's not like they deleted Snow White and then all these other Snow Whites came about, right? Like the original Snow White still, stuck around. We're still talking about its existence today. So I think there's like just some aspect of destructiveness here that, I question whether or not is really necessary, or at least, is it necessary to happen like so fast? Like, and when fast, I mean like, hey, we're gonna do this, versus like, you wake up and then it's already, your access is gone. It's almost like you got fired from a job.
Yeah, but I would ask it, and again, I know that it's a little different because 1812, a lot of time has gone by.
And the internet connections were a lot worse too back then.
Well, it's like, how many of those original copies are left? There's going to be copies of the Discord. There's going to be people, I'm sure, that are archiving it. There will still be this history that you'll be able to access to see how things started, and then we'll have the front end client, and that might change over time. And of course, we have Noun Center, that, I think he's in the audience. I want to thank CDT for his tireless time that he puts into that, that helps chronicle everything more or less that's going on, including how the Discord server's set up. It's just, I think, how do we bring that kind of awareness to people to find that as a gathering spot to like bring them up.
Flattery is not going to get Nanish Labs to the top of that list.
Hey man, I said alphabetical. To me, I'm like, sure, everyone could call it underscore a Nouns Discord. That's weird. Anyways, back to Adrian.
Yeah, no, I take your point. Like, I think it's important to have like, this proliferation. And that's the whole point behind like CC0 and all that, right? All I'm saying is that, we have like some clue as to, when it's happening, what are like the, so we can have some time to like prepare some of these like alternatives for people, and have some kind of, like, the hammer just dropped too suddenly. I think that's really the biggest issue. I mean, there's also like a lot of, reasons for this. Some people say, there are a lot of theories about the rumors of, someone did something bad, and other people didn't like it, and that's why it happened. That kind of all feels like throwing the baby out with bathwater a little bit.
I don't personally think that's what happened. I saw it unfold in the Nanner channels from the very start, and I don't think it was any one event that caused this to happen. I think it was more so just a lot of the infighting that happened around the recent controversy with the grants program, NSFW, just brought to light how argumentative and political things could become in a shared central place of discussion. And I think that maybe forced hands to go further, but I don't think it was like punishment for any one thing any one person did. I'm open to be corrected on that.
Yeah, just from like my standpoint, and I don't disagree with you. I think that one, I think it's wonderful that people have different ideas. That the whole idea of having something grow. Again, I've brought up this kind of metaphor before. A lot of people, when they were in elementary school, they were given a lima bean. They were told about the life cycle of plants, and they took that lima bean, they put it on a wet paper towel in a little Ziploc baggie, and set it on the what do you call it, man? By the windowsill. There you go. You put it on a windowsill, and after a couple days, you got that little sprout coming out, and then you transplant that into a Dixie cup with some dirt, and you have a little plant. But that little lima bean won't reach its full measure unless it's taken out of there and put in a garden and is able to propagate other ideas with other lima beans, and then it's able to really get to its true measure. Like I've been around since the beginning of Nouns, and got to help on the Rinkeby stuff. And it wasn't till Noun 455 that I finally, I should have gotten in on 3. I should have bought that one before Richard did. But no, I was like, I'm just going to get outbid. The first one went for 613. But I got in on 455, and it still felt like it came out of nowhere. And it's like, I thought I was buying into this community, and it hurt, like what's happening? Am I getting in at the absolute worst time? But I still think, ultimately, no, any time is the best time. The invitation has always been, if you're willing to work, if you're willing to it's like Kermit the Frog in the Muppet movie. If you want to be a dreamer and come with us to Hollywood, then just, pick up yourself and come with us and build. Everyone is invited. And, yes, I think it's great to have a watering hole that all the different dinosaurs can get around and, drink the water from. But I think it's such an exciting prospect that we'll be able, it's like,
this has been 55 metaphors in 55 seconds.
Yeah, I'll just shut up right there.
No, they're good. I'm kidding.
No, I'll ramble forever. That plane won't land. It'll crash like John Denver.
Speaking of planes, back to our guest.
Back to Adrian.
Oh, I totally agree.
Well done.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited still, about all these other discords that are gonna pop up, right? I think at the same time, we have to say something or do something to help those who are worried about what we might be losing, right? Well, I don't think there's enough talk about what we might be losing, because we're so hopeful about the future, and that's a good thing. That something's going to replace it. We're going to have much more vibrant diversity of discords and all that, and those are all good things and great things I'm looking forward to. But what do we say to the people who just joined, right? Who just bought it? Even if they're bullish, right? Where do they go? If they want to send one message to all the nouners, like what does that look like, right? These are all questions that I think we want to figure out so that we can keep all the good stuff that is working, and then we can hopefully avoid some of the stuff that wasn't working.
I wonder, one thing, Sam, is if they had made the decision early on to call this the Nounders Discord, which they almost did, would this discussion still be happening in the way that it's happening?
I don't think so. Personally, I don't think so, because I think we would better understand that we were all invited to get to see how these 10 individuals were operating, and there's nothing that stops the Nouners from having a Nouner Discord, or the Nouns folk have a Nouns folk Discord, or any Nounish. In fact, there is a Nounish Discord, but the fact that we were allowed in, and I think losing that, it's sad.
Yeah, that's an important point too that I think we can, dwell on, or not dwell on sometimes, but it's like, it's okay to be sad that the Discord's going away. A lot of us made some of our best friends in there, and I can totally see that side of it. I feel it myself. But at the end of the day, I guess it wasn't really ever the Nouns Discord, and maybe that's the problem. It was the Nounders Discord, and that ended up being the ultimate problem with it, right?
That's a really good point. Yeah.
It's almost like, say you have a dad and he's got a really cool car, right? And you're like, one day I'm going to get that car. But then, while you're hanging out with him, and maybe this doesn't apply to, everyone, but, you're hanging out with that individual. They're like, I've taught you how to make this car, as we've been building it. And here's all the tools that you need to build your own, but you got to go find the parts, I think there's something about building and doing that kind of job. I don't know.
I don't think the Nouns Discord was ever thought to be scalable, personally. When I got my Noun Sounds prop pass, there was a channel for it, which is amazing. Honored to have it. But ultimately, Nouns is going to expand so much into so many different areas that having a centralized place doesn't actually make sense. Pretty soon You know, there's maybe what 12,000, 13,000 people in there right now. If there's 20,000, if we double that, like it's going to be nuts in there. You're not going to be able to even get a word in. And I ultimately feel like it's the right move. I just think the abruptness of it has caught people off guard. But I think it's going to just push everybody so hard to work harder, you know, like work on things more expeditiously, and like all the different pain points that we're pointing out right now, like not having a place to chill, not being able to onboard people, the nouners not having a place to chat, et cetera, et cetera. Those are all going to be figured out by Halloween, because we're all innovators. We're all, you know, pushing the envelope all the time. And as sad as it is, because, you know, like Tody, you're saying, it is sad, you know, like we're closing a chapter, but the unlimited potential that is getting unlocked, in my opinion, is far outweighing, you know, the negative downsides of closing down the Discord.
I wonder, like, if it's like, you know, a lot of people are saying, I really do agree with, you know, a lot of what you're saying, Woody, by the way. But, you know, just because you remove something, does that really mean that there will be something, you know, of the same quality that can replace it? I mean, I do agree that, you know, the official, so-called official, the Nounders Discord, you know, never would have lasted into eternity, and we needed something to replace it for sure. But, you know, it's like you said, it's the jarringness of the timing. Is this the right time? Do we have the critical mass required to create new solutions that would give the same level of experience, user experience, and also like to prevent the balkanization and the factionalization that might happen, right? Like if there's like, you know, the so-called DeFi bros have their own Noun Discord, and then all the other, you know, Discord people, you know, are on another Discord. Wouldn't that like make things more like divided, more extreme, and much harder to really like get together and come to some sense of understanding? Like, I think that's worth talking about. I'm not like, I don't want to be 100% opinion about anything, but I think, you know, that deserves its own voice as well, before things just kind of happen out of nowhere.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's an interesting discussion, you know, because it's crazy. It's been what, 3 or 4 days, 3 days, 2 days? I don't even know how many days it's been, but since we closed the private channels down and everything has spilled over to general, you see how much stuff, like how much back and forth has been happening. And not that it's all negative. I think it's all positive stuff. But you're just talking about the different factions and stuff like that. I think it's a good thing to have these different factions like go and really bake their ideas out to be presented in a public forum, you know, which is going to have to happen on Discourse and other public forums to persuade other people to, you know, come on board with their ideas and concepts. So, you know, I definitely see all sides of it. And I do just picture, you know, what if we closed the Discord when it was too late? You know, that's a counter argument. Like, what if it was popular and it became like the cemented place, and then it was just like, hey, we're gonna close this down, and everybody was like, oh man, like fuck the Nouns. You know, if it was like out there that much, it might affect it in a different way. But I mean,
well, that's one of the things I've said throughout this week too, is a lot of projects from 2021, if their Discord had closed, that would have been the end of the project. You know, people would have called it a rug and it would have moved along. So I think it at least shows people's commitment to Nouns as a community, as a brand, and as a lot of other things aside from an NFT project, that people aren't, you know, putting up tombstones just because this is Discord's closing, despite our thoughts on the matter.
It's just Discord. It's just Discord, dude. Like most people, myself included, when I first got into Nouns, I came in the Discord and I was like, what is this shit? Like, there's so many channels, so many things. Like, unless you're a Discord expert and know how to navigate it, you know, it's actually not, in my opinion, the best way to onboard people into Nouns overall. So
until you're a friend, would you have sent them to the Nouns Discord, or would you have sent them to
Hell no.
Nouns or would you send them to nouns.center?
Absolutely not.
I would have sent them to nouns.center, or I would have said, come tune in to 9 o'clock, or, something that's a lot more friendly and front facing than
I actually just did this. Actually, I mean, I'm onboarding friends constantly, but with my Pride Nouns co-founder, what got him into the Nouns ecosystem, he was like, "Oh, should I join the main Discord?" I was like, "Probably not."
Go ahead and do it. Be part of the provenance before it gets rolled up.
Well, I mean, he did, but yeah. At first, Sam, I was like, check out Noun Center first, and then...
Sam, just because you posted a picture of someone in a giant Garfield costume as the final comment, and will be archived in Noun or Private, you don't need to brag about it.
Someone asked, who reads props on Monday? And I said, this guy.
I guess, Sam... You know what I was thinking too? Like, if you go into Noun Discord, you can get any of the Nounders now, right? Like, they're all in there. You can get a response. But closing the Discord, will this spin up smaller groups of people that you don't speak to that make decisions? That's the only thing that I think of.
Maybe, but back in January 8th, 1982, when they broke up the Bell system for telephones, like, I don't know if you guys aren't old enough, or if you are old enough to know about long distance charges and stuff, but like that was a scam. It's like, I'm not saying that the Nounders are a scam, not at all, but the innovation that happened and took place afterwards by decentralizing those things, was really good overall for the community, and I think that we all have benefited from that. A little different, but kind of related.
Yeah, landline phones, definitely similar.
Yeah, it's our landline. Well, really quick, I do want to thank Adrian for coming on. These are the kinds of conversations and discourse that we should be having. I appreciate you coming in, being super candid with us. I'm glad that there was no mudslinging or anything like that. Nouns and nounishness behavior and being able to have these open discourses, I think, is what pushes the meme, what helps push the protocol, which helps diversify the DAO. So I super appreciate you reaching out to us so that we could have you on the show.
Thanks a lot. I think it's really important to keep things positive, regardless of what happens or doesn't happen. Just being out there with different opinions, not being afraid to just say what you feel, and definitely do not mudsling, especially not based off of rumors here and there, because that could, that's something that could happen on very commonly on the Discord, and one may argue having an actual voice on these Twitter Spaces is what really brings us all together. So I really appreciate what you guys been doing here, and hopefully I'll check out more of these calls when I have the time.
Adrian, you
Sounds
are
good.
always
If you're wondering when we do these, we do them every day. So.
Every day forever.
Yeah.
We made a deal with the Nouns devil, and now we're here every day.
And now we regret it greatly. No, I'm just kidding.
And it's like, well, what time will we be here? And he goes, the time slightly shifts. And I was like, oh man.
A couple months ago, I was like, what are we going to do? We're going to do this every day forever. And then we started realizing what that meant. It's like, this decision was calculated, but man, are we bad at math.
Yeah.
So anecdotally, I've been working over the past week and a half to book Bud Light to come on the show to talk to us, and they are coming on Friday. But the back and forth trying to coordinate has just been kind of hilarious, because King of Cheers, who is amazing, he's a moderator over in their Discord. Every time he had to go back and check with his people about every time, and then of course the time kept changing every day with the show, and it was kind of funny to watch. But finally, we have booked them, and they're coming on the show Friday to talk about Bud Light Next and Nouns.
Yeah.
I will say I do miss the time shifting a little bit more. I think it's like more fun when it shifts all throughout the world.
I would really like to have a lunch at a regular time, at least for a month.
Actually,
you can have lunch for a little, but then you can't have dinner.
The last few days, though, we have been shifting. We've been going back to about 15 minutes a day, because the bot has basically tied FOMO's hands behind it's back, and so we can't settle anything for the first 3 minutes after the auction's over. So we're at least
we got our FOMO minds working on the project, so hopefully we'll have a solution soon.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, I heard something in the background. Did you guys hear that sound? It sounds like it's time for Contest Toshi.
What?
Give us that retweet picker.
Awesome. Adrian, thank you so much. I really hope you get to join us on a few more Noun o'clocks. Again, every single day. You can also join our Discord too. We have all the events lined up there. So
we
that's where I
should
get
give
all
him
my
a segment,
notifications.
Toshi. We should give him a segment, Plain Talk with Adrian.
That's right.
Ooh, I like that. And I love that you have the airplane head noun. That's such a good one. We've been trying to mint that one for a little bit now. So I actually haven't seen a plane in a long time now that I think about it. But what I have seen is all of you beautiful people in here in this space nearly every single day with us. I see you guys in soapboxes, and I just know that you guys know how meaningful that is to us. So thank you for retweeting the room. I do have a winner here. Hanun Kepin.
This dude lives on the Noun Square, I swear to God.
Hanun Kepin.
What'd they win?
What did you say?
0.069 ETH.
Hokey smokes. And all they had to do was retweet the room?
That's it. Right at the beginning, you just get it over with.
I probably forgot to say this show.
I believe it was Hanun who asked yesterday if he could put more than one prop into our prop house round for the Noun Square. And I said, yes, absolutely. You can enter 60 times if you want, if there's 60 good ideas. And on that note, while we're on the topic, 4 hours left, less than 4 hours left to get your ideas in for the Noun Square prop house. And Aptoshi, what kind of ideas are we looking for over there?
Oh my gosh, anything and everything. Any type of proliferation of nouns, any way that you can see NOC or the Noun Square, or any of the soapboxes that we're associated with grow here within the Noun Square. We want to keep growing our audience. It seems to be growing every single day. I love seeing a full room here, and I think that's definitely because we have incredible guests that we get to spend here, and we have pretty fun light weekend shows as well too. So any ideas, if you've just been sitting there in the audience, like literally contest ideas or fun activations you want to do, we want to hear all of it. So we know you guys are a creative bunch, and I can't wait to see what all the proposals look like.
Yeah, did you know we already have 23 proposals? So that's pretty good for a first round ever.
Jeez.
That's
23
great.
Doubled overnight. So
and you guys have a couple hours. You can write up a proposal in a few hours.
I have a feeling there's a bunch of people that have been working on some stuff that's going to come flooding in, because there's always this element of game theory with prop houses where people are like, I'm going to wait and see what everyone else is doing, and then I'll make my prop one better, right? So
yeah, I'm talking to about 4 people who are working on some right now.
There you go. See, I remember.
Yep, same.
Basically, you're just giving Seneca gray hairs every single time you do that, because when he does like a mandated round, I remember the first mandated round, there were only three proposals in, I think, on the day before the deadline, and that was for 4 prizes of 25 ETH each, and Seneca's like pulling his hair out. And then by the next day, there was 30 amazing proposals from like top tier teams. So anyway, it's just funny.
Like, I guess my last piece of advice would be, if you get your proposal in, make sure you do at least a tweet that has a link to your prop. Give us a little TLDR, and then make sure you tag us so we can go in there and see what you've posted.
Yes. And by the way, if you put a prop in and then you think of something after the fact, oh, I should have added this in, or I should have done this or that, you can always resubmit a new prop and then just send us a DM and we can delete the old one. That's the only way currently to edit, because they're currently submitted on chain. But we can do that for you if you want to add something. So long as you do it before the deadline tonight. After that, can't help you.
Win composables for prop house.
What? What's that?
Win composables for prop house.
What would that look like?
Editing.
Oh, yes. Talk to CDT about that.
Wait a minute.
CDT, why can't we edit our props?
He'll leave him alone. He's working so hard on getting everything else set up.
He actually left. As soon as I started talking about prop house, he left. He's like, I don't want to.
I'm out of here.
You guys thinking about a word that rhymes with POAP?
Well, before we move on to the POAPs and off the contest, can we just give one shout out to the decoration contest that's up and running? And
yeah, I was gonna turn it over to you. Say, Josh, tell us about the contest.
Yeah.
Well, we have a contest running. We want everyone to embrace the season and decorate with nouns. I think that there's some fun decorations going on so far. My dream is that someone creates a Nouns haunted house. So, we'll see how far everyone takes it.
Nice. What's
somebody submitted within like 2 minutes of you putting that tweet up, and then there was like some mini controversy on the timeline because someone posted a Google search showing that it wasn't their mantle, it was just a random fireplace mantle with Halloween decorations on it. Come on, guys, we're not that
Oh
dumb.
my days!
Come on now.
We
But
got
most of you guys
0.2 ETH prize for the grand prize, and there'll be 3 runners up at 0.1 ETH. So it'll
my
be
wife
fun
never
to
gives
see.
me prizes for decorating the house for holidays, so this is pretty
I've
awesome.
never
That's
gotten
because
paid
you're
to do that
married,
either.
Tony.
Before we get to the POAP, really quick, what do we have going on for the rest of the day? Well, later on today is 7 o'clock. In 5 hours is the Amigos Soapbox, and then also today, but in 6 hours is the Food Noun O'Clock at 8 p.m. So we hope to see you all there. And with that, did you hear that? Did you?
You got a lot of weird
Ryan
noises
Mack.
in your house, Sam.
What?
You got a lot of weird noises in your house.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's the ghosts.
Definitely weird. Here on 9 o'clock at the Noun Square, we do a daily POAP. POAP stands for Proof of Attendance Protocol. A POAP is a digital badge that shows you attended events, such as today's Twitter space with us. You can head over to your phone's marketplace and download the POAP app, or head over to poap.xyz. When you get to the app, you hit the mint button in the bottom right corner. Then you hit the secret word tab, and today's secret word is sound, Sam. Fitbit 00. FITBIT 00. All lowercase, all one word. Fitbit 00.
One thing
Today's
I
show, of
appreciate.
course, sponsored by Fitbit and Stamps.com. Order today, and you can have your Fitbit sent to you by Stamps.com by tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I think so.
Why do nearly 1 million businesses choose Stamps.com to mail and ship? No more trips to the post office. No more paying full price for postage. And great rates from USPS and UPS.
We'd like to thank Stamps.com for not officially sponsoring our show, but hope that one day
And
you'll find
Fitbit for
it
giving every postal worker a Fitbit in the U.S.
Right.
Postal
They need it, man. You want to keep that heart rate right in the right range.
Keep it pumping.
That's right.
All that running away from.
It's been a real fun show. We're getting ready to hit the hour mark. Want to invite everyone to come back and come to our soapboxes tonight. And, if you guys have any topics and stuff that you want us to talk about, hop onto our Discord, join it, give us some suggestions. We'd love to hear from you.
And just a reminder, we will be deleting the Twitter on October 31st.
That's right.
Go
at the end of the space.
For legal reasons, this is a joke.
For today's song, I don't know if we want to do it live, but
we'll do it live.
Do it live.
There's the old band from the 90s live doing Lightning Crashes. Is that too low? Is that too crummy of a song?
I mean, I think you got to play it now.
Well, we'll do
You're
it live.
already on the hook. As soon as you mention the name, we have to pay royalties. So you might as well play it.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to wear a trench coat when you listen to this music.
Yeah.
Got to put your lighters out.
Actually,
everybody, shave your head.
Pour one out for the Nouns Discord.
Yeah, the people that like this music definitely hated their parents.
I listened to this growing up.
Well, thanks for coming out to the show, everybody. Just because we didn't have one, need to hit that air horn. Make sure you share this space with your friends. share with your family.
Got to give a shout out again to Woody and Uptoshi for the amazing CC0 video that they made, and I'm told they've got like 20 more in the pipeline coming down the pipe. So yeah, keep an eye.
That is awesome.
Alpha leak.
Let's go.
Also, they're both super doxed in the videos.
Yeah, I saw that.
You can see my eyeballs.
Yeah.
For one of your videos, can you make it about like what is doxing, and like halfway through the video just lose?
I actually do want to make a video about doxing.
You should do those unboxing videos. Just do an unboxing video.
Undoxing. All the kids are doing undoxings. Yeah.
Well, guys, again, thanks for coming out, and we'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you guys a little later, like in about 5 minutes.